Okay.
We are live. Let's try this again, Callie. Welcome to
Oh my
channel.
goodness. We're back.
I know, right? It's me and Callie today. Montanique is going to be joining us in just a few minutes. I just want to let me start off first by saying this is Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 8, episode 15. This is Full Goals recap that aired Sunday, March the 3rd, 2024. We're going to first do the chapstick moment of the week. And I'm going to let Callie do it while I put this up. Go ahead.
All right. So the chapstick moment of the week, it seems like the seating chart has been a topic. So we're going to review that. So we are speaking of the reunion seating chart for the Real Housewives of Potomac season 8. Now, we have a picture of that seating chart above. And if anyone's been following Real Housewives of Potomac every season since the first one, then you will notice right away that Gizelle Bryant is no longer in first chair. Child. And so some people are really thinking that says a lot about Andy and Bravo and the production team. They're sending a strong message to Gizelle, and they're saying they're letting her know they did not appreciate her performance this season. She didn't take the time to rally the troops and get going. They put Mia in the first chair. And Mia, this is only her 3rd season. Is that right, Joy?
Mm-hmm.
This is her 3rd season. So the question, that begs the question, has Mia taken over the throne from Gizelle? So that's what this chapstick moment is going to be about. Joy, what are your thoughts on Gizelle no longer being in the first chair after 7 seasons?
I kind of felt that. I'm surprised that Robin didn't get first chair, but I think that is a slight punishment for whatever reason.
You're surprised Robin didn't get it?
I'm surprised she didn't. I mean, it's 15 episodes, at least 11 of them were dedicated to Robin.
And none were dedicated to Karen. So that drew me.
Okay, I'll get to why I think Karen got first chair, but let's talk about Mia first.
All right.
I think Mia had a phenomenal season this season because Gizelle wasn't Gizelle. She wasn't messy. She wasn't asking the messy questions. It was Mia. Mia was the one that was talking to Juan, saying things that we were thinking. Mia was the one that was asking serious questions to Robin. Mia was asked serious questions to Robin. She asked serious questions to Gizelle. She asked serious questions. She was really kind of producing the show. Plus, Mia, what has happened off camera is really interesting to Andy, because if you saw him on Watch What Happened Live with her, he is giddy about the fact, I've been honest about this. Mia may go against everything I stand for as a woman, but I am intrigued by her. It is something about a woman that can be unapologetically herself, and kind of own it, so to speak.
Right.
And what I mean by that is like for real, Mia has kind of gained herself a reputation of kind of being a liar, but she lies over stupid stuff that we absolutely know is a lie. But she tells the truth. She tells the truth about things that most people would lie about. Like, this girl got a whole side dude and is not ashamed of it. She like, and
what she said on the last episode when was it Ashley that says, are you with your husband for money? And Mia said, maybe so. I might be. She's very honest. So listen, I will say I'm not surprised that Mia got first chair this season. Really, I'm not. This has been her season. I am surprised on the other side of the couches that Karen Huger has the first chair over Robin.
Yes. That's
over
surprising.
Robin.
But I
Yeah.
kind of think, okay, here's my theory on Karen. I kind of think Karen got first chair because Karen has been skating by season after season without serious conversation. We want to talk about she's not sharing her life. She's not being, talking about Robin, being authentic. Karen has had several boyfriends, y'all. All the same streets that talk about Juan and talk about Vera have been talking about Karen for at least 6 seasons. At least. We have been talking about Karen and boyfriends since, I want to say, season 2 or 3, but she never answers questions about that. And
So how's that? What's that doing for her now? What are you thinking?
I think, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't finish that part. I think Andy is possibly going to hold her to the carpet a little bit about that. And I think with Mia teasing, do you want to bet on that? When she said, you don't know nothing about me, and Mia said, you want to bet on that?
She said, you want to try me?
You want to try. Like in the calmest, non-confrontational way. It would have been scary had we not been tripping off of her demeanor. Because she was eating and drinking. Like, you want to try me?
Mm-hmm.
And
she
if
really
you notice, Karen shut that down real quick.
Yeah, she did. I agree with all that. I like the way Mia came at her about that. I don't, however, think that Andy's gonna. I don't think he would have given somebody the first chair just to call them out on what they're not admitting to, because it didn't take up enough of the season to me. It just, I don't think no one cares. If we weren't bringing that up now, I doubt that anyone would have brought that up.
Wow. Well, we will see. Hopefully, we'll get some kind of understanding to that.
Yeah.
Or unless this is Karen's last season, I don't know, or something like that. I don't know why she would have been. I think Robin should have had that seat. I think Robin should have had that seat hands down. But I don't think Gizelle cares about that seat because Gizelle has purposely not talked. If y'all haven't been tripping off of her, sometimes Gizelle holds her mouth in to prevent herself from talking. Have y'all tripped off that? Because I have. Like, she does. Wait a minute. If you can see me, she does this.
Yeah, she does.
I do that when I'm trying everything in my power to shut up.
I will say this though, I disagree. I think Gizelle is very bothered that she's not in the first chair. And I don't, and yes, she did intentionally not speak. And I think that she thought she would get away with it and still be in the first chair. I would love to see, and I know we're not going to get to see this, I don't think, but if they were to show her reaction to walking on that stage, knowing that she's not going to the first chair.
And we know that that's not going to happen. You know why? You know why we know that that's not going to happen?
Yeah, because it's Gizelle Bryant.
No, you know why we know that that's not going to happen? Because Andy released a video of them on stage, sitting, chit-chatting. They didn't show Gizelle, but they showed him. And you don't remember the conversation was, we're sitting up here waiting. You always first. You are always first. So she knew where she was sitting alone. If they show her walking out with the group, it's a re-walk out with the group. But Gizelle we know that because Andy shot a video at the reunion and they were sitting down talking. It was just him and Gizelle. And he went live.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we may not, or we may get to see her response to her not being in the first chair. He could have been recording beforehand and just not show it. I think they should have shown it. I mean, I think the producers, they can sometimes be really shady and sometimes put some shady mess out there that we love. This would have been one of those shady moments.
But I guess what I'm saying to you is, if she comes out with the group and he's placing her in a seat, it's only because they had to redo it, because we know for a fact that she was on the set because we visually have seen it.
Well, yeah, but that's not here nor there. I'm just saying we want to see her reaction. Well, that's what I'm saying. So it doesn't matter if she was already on the set or not.
I
There's a
don't think
camera at
that
every
if she, I
angle
guess what
that
I'm
could have
saying to you,
shown her reaction.
I hear you. I just what I'm saying is if they show a reaction, it's because they had to redo it because she's already been out there.
Okay.
She's already, it's kind of like she's already been on set. This is
I know,
fact.
yeah.
Yeah. So if she's sitting
So
on a
whether
couch,
it was before the show or after the show, knowing that this was her first season, not in the first year, I don't care if she had already been out there or not. There was a first time that she realized she wasn't first chair. That is the reaction I wish someone would have captured. Okay. So we could see that. I think it does bother her. Of course, she's not going to say it bothered her. She's really good at being unbothered or looking unbothered.
I don't think
she always has been. But in a way, this she's been dethroned. Maybe it'll just be for this season. But Gizelle Bryant has officially been dethroned from the first chair and taken over by Mia Thornton.
Wendy was first chair her second season.
Yeah, Wendy was first chair her second season and didn't do enough to keep it going. But and so was Gizelle.
Candiace has never been first chair. She's probably,
I
don't think Robin has ever been first chair.
No, even when Wendy was first chair, Gizelle was still first chair. So Gizelle has been.
But that was a Gizelle. See, I think that everybody understood. Like, there are certain seasons being first chair really does make sense. Gizelle has been pretty extra for 7 seasons. This is the first season where she's kind of taken a seat back. She hasn't been, if you know, she sits at the end of the table. She don't start no conversations. She hasn't been messy per se. And when the mess comes to her, she retreats.
Thank the Lord she's been quiet for once.
So anyway, I think we got 12 minutes in. Do y'all want to rate this episode? You want to rate
it? Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, D, we can hear you.
Okay.
Y'all want to rate the episode right quick? Number 1 through 10, audience and individuals.
I'll give it a 6.
What do you give? I gave it a
D said 2.
7.5, 8. I think people want to see a fight so bad because Wendy didn't hear that. Production told them.
A fight?
Yeah, they wanted to see. I think production wanted an argument between Gizelle and Wendy Nim. That's why I believe production is the one that told Wendy Nim that they were over there talking about. You all.
So here's my question though. Why is if Gizelle's gonna whisper her thoughts to somebody about their expressions on their face, why won't she just talk to them about it? Why did they have to come over and ask about it?
Because she knows they're not willing to have a conversation. They want to fight. That's my answer.
But they were willing. Wendy asked. And even when they said, no, we can talk about it later, Wendy said, no,
let's talk about it now. And you're aggressive about it. I'm good.
Giselle wasn't being aggressive. She wasn't talking.
I know.
Wendy absolutely wasn't being aggressive. Wendy wasn't being aggressive.
Are we being serious right now? Ugh.
I'm sorry?
Nothing. I was just agreeing with you. I was just saying, like, are we being serious right now? Like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, Wendy wasn't being aggressive. I mean, I really don't.
They asked him a simple question. Like, no, talk about it now, because if you can talk about it while I wasn't over here, what you being quiet for now? Like Karen told her, you ain't never held your tongue to have something to say, and now all of a sudden you can't like talk to nobody and let the girl by. Like, stop.
Yeah, and so that's why, even though she's doing it deliberate, I think she's doing it deliberate, thinking it would be okay with the rest of the world that she's doing what she's doing, and it's not.
Girl, ain't no way you still mad at Wendy from 2 years ago. Like, get over it.
And I think that's
is she mad at Wendy or is Wendy mad at? Okay,
she's mad at Wendy.
She's
Wendy has tried to
Wendy.
talk to her.
Please stop acting like Gizelle is unbothered. She is mad. She has said it. Like, stop.
She is.
Mm-hmm. She's definitely bothered, because if she wasn't bothered, she would have moved on by now.
I 100% agree.
Because Wendy moved on last season, right?
She tried to. Do you remember the first episode from last season?
You can't talk about me like a dog and try to hug me. You crazy.
And the fact that Wendy even gave her that kind gesture of wanting to try to be
It
cordial
wasn't hardly no kind
when
gesture.
she was the one that was wrong.
Gesture.
She was the one that was wrong. Are we kidding? Are we being serious? She was the one that was wrong. Gizelle was the one being a bad friend to her. She wasn't being a bad friend to Gizelle.
Right. It's true. It's true. So she is, you know, and then what makes it worse is to even attempt to call Karen out for not speaking up.
The audacity. The audacity. And I love Karen's response. Girl, say something. You're a grown woman. 50-some years old, but want to be 24.
Yeah. And so, you know, so you and I are not good, she said to Karen. You and I are not good. Is that what this is? You're not speaking up for me? I'm thinking, Gizelle, I don't know what's going on, but girl, if you don't drop this little subject, this is just ridiculous to me.
So anyway, if y'all let's get into the season. If y'all want to get into the season, I mean, go get into the episode.
That's where it started.
That's
where we were doing. I think we picked up where it ended.
No.
What was the first show? Let's go over it then.
Okay. Are we done with that? Anything else? No. So anyway, this is their last day. It seems like for the most part, everybody has been enjoying themselves.
Right,
the next scene, I don't know if y'all are finished with that. It's Gizelle and Karen sitting on the side of the pool having a conversation. And go ahead.
Kaya's comment, I don't do Karen, but it was so whack to watch Gizelle trying to get Karen to speak for her when she wouldn't speak for herself. And let me just repeat that last line. When she wouldn't speak for herself. So I really think. Yeah, I mean.
Girl.
I mean, that's it right there.
Everybody else confront their drama on the show. You are not above it, honey. And like I said, you wronged them. So how dare you? See, that's my thing with Gizelle.
Right.
Like, it's just like, if she gonna be a villain, be a damn villain. That's one reason that I can respect someone like Margaret from Housewives of New Jersey. Because she's a villain and she stands in it. She stands in it for the most part. For the most part, she stands in it. It's like, Gizelle, if that's how you're gonna be, just be that. Be that, honey. Yeah. Get your reads together, girl. Because if that's the type of stuff you're gonna be doing, you can't be mad at people coming at you and talking about you when you talking about their business.
Right. So
them.
Why do you think, Joy? Why do you think that Gizelle tried to get Karen? Why do you think that bothered her that Karen didn't speak up for her?
First of all, she said she didn't need her to. She didn't ask her to. She just was shocked that when it kind of came to kids, she just felt like this wasn't appropriate. In the way that Gizelle sees it, and I agree with her, of course. Karen, when she tries to say that she sits in the middle, it almost always feels like that she doesn't really stick in the middle. I'll give you an example. It always seems like she leans to wherever Wendy and Candiace is. And I'll give a very recent example watching this. When they were sitting around talking about funny faces or whatever it was in regards to her daughter, Gizelle says something like, she didn't say anything to them. It does seem like she did, but she was actually talking to Karen when she said, that's my daughter. It's about my daughter, though. She was actually talking to Karen, not them. In my head, I'm assuming that was her whole point, is that she wasn't going to speak to them. And she just felt like in this particular incident that Karen, being so-called neutral, would say, hey, I mean, regardless if you don't like Gizelle or not, yeah, I know she was talking about her kids. Like, why was that? It just wasn't necessary. That's it. It was a simple, and she said she didn't ask her to, or didn't expect her to. She said, why would you want me to? She said, I didn't want you to, and I don't need you to. I just was shocked that you didn't, because it was in regard to my daughter.
She expected her to. She did. Or she wouldn't have brought it up. But Gizelle should have brought it up herself so they could have shut it down at that time instead of even
it
letting
wouldn't
it go
have.
on.
They're not, in my opinion, this is just me, because in my opinion, this whole season, Candiace and Wendy have been wanting to fight with Gizelle all season. In my opinion, they betted on it. Wendy has just been helped out with Aneka with something going on. But if her and Aneka wasn't going on this whole season, they would have been sitting in the cut, basically saying nothing. They've been waiting to fight on her. Anything that nothing will be resolved until you either have a mediator or somebody else that can help them. Because at this point, I don't think that Wendy and Candiace are receptive to having a conversation.
Okay, well, you can't say that comfortably. You shouldn't be able to say that comfortably, knowing that Wendy did try to bring it up and discuss it, and Wendy walked away from the conversation with just hello. Yeah, what do you mean? Yeah, that's the thing we've talked about. She brought it up and said, "What are y'all talking about?"
Wendy try to have a conversation with Gizelle.
We just talked about it, Joy. When Wendy went and says, "What is the conversation? What are y'all talking about?"
That's not having I'm talking about their issues. That's more piled on. See, this is what I'm talking about. That's not their issue. That's something that just happened in the DR. They've been having issues. This is where this started. And they only want to talk when they want to fight. It ain't arguing.
Joy, this is where it started.
Come up here and say, did I hear
my
name?
And then last season,
Wendy came up and said, what was I talking about? She was ready to get crunk. It wasn't nothing about Wendy.
She did not go at her like that, Joy.
I'm chill.
You got blinders
I just want to
on.
know what happened. She was
Joy,
ready to
you
fight.
can't say that. Okay, so let me say this. Well, I know, but you shouldn't. And so anyway, let me just say this. Wendy tried to talk to Karen. You saying that it's not just about what they were talking about today, or during this last episode. Wendy has been trying to talk to Gizelle since last season, and Gizelle didn't want to have nothing to do with it. On the first episode, when she walked up to her and tried to hug her.
That, first of all, Wendy and Giselle didn't say anything. We're talking about last season. You're talking about the first episode of season 7.
Than just about this situation. And what I'm saying,
they didn't talk all 7 seasons.
Joy, you gotta let me talk. This is ridiculous. You're saying that it's not just about this whole conversation about the daughters. I know it's not. So what else is there? You're saying it's past things. And what I'm saying is Wendy has tried to talk to Gizelle about previous things.
No, she hasn't.
Okay. All right. Well,
she tried to hug her. That's what she tried to do. You can say that.
That's a good start. You think I want to hug
you've been talking about me like a dog all season.
But like I said already, if Gizelle would have never started it with her, she ought to be thankful that Wendy even wanted to try to hug her and be fucking nice after the way that she carried on. That ain't no friend. Period. That's not. I'm talking about Gizelle. That's not what you do to a friend. If you're that concerned, you don't go tell Ashley and talk to Robin instead of just coming.
He didn't talk to Robin. That was a voiceover. It's fact. All the blogs talking about it in real time. That never happened.
I'm not talking about that.
You said Robin. She never talked to Robin. That conversation never happened.
Okay, we're gonna act like we're stupid, like Robin didn't already know this because she clearly did.
She know that Robin did. She was in the same blogs. Of course she did.
You're just trying to state the fact that because it wasn't an argument. You are arguing with the fact that because we didn't technically see a conversation with Robin, that they didn't talk about it. Gizelle and Robin are
so we're making assumptions. We can make assumptions.
Robin knew. Robin knew.
Nobody said that she didn't. They were in the same blogs. That was the whole thing.
You think she told
bringing the phone call and the text messages?
You think that she talked to Ashley about that and didn't talk to Robin about it? Come on,
she didn't talk to her on camera. That's fact.
Okay, well, anyway, I said, Robin knew. Ashley knew. She didn't talk to them about it.
Everybody knew. Everybody heard.
Robin literally had the same concerns as Gizelle about her getting her body done, and all that ain't no friend. Period.
Okay.
Die by yourself because anybody with common sense in the brain knows that ain't no friend. That ain't how you treat a friend.
I don't think they really were, but okay, let's go. Anyway, I thought it was
At least
interesting.
Wendy thought they was. Anyway.
Yeah.
I thought it was really not.
Go on, Joy.
The ladies went to the place that they're saying that Michael Jackson and I think Lisa Presley got married at. I thought that was pretty cool. I would have went there too, just because I heard Michael Jackson was there. Matter of fact, I tried to look up this villa because I heard this place is pretty popular in the DR. And then all of the ladies went to, I guess that was lunch, and they were kind of scared of them cats, and they sitting around talking. Y'all remember that scene?
Mm-hmm.
The ladies tend to get along. It's really strange to me how they switch and go mean on one another. It's so weird to me, because even the conversation about whether or not Wendy and Gizelle are friends was so weird to me. I was like, they're friends? Because people were talking about that in the group. You know, that was dialogue. Aren't you and Wendy friends? And Gizelle just not answering. Y'all don't remember
They were. Or like we said, at least Wendy thought
it was so weird to me how they kind of go backwards and forward about this. That's why I was saying, is some of this for TV? I do wonder about that.
Well, it has to be for TV. I mean, because, you know, somebody has to have a conversation. If you're going, you can't. She unfortunately has tried to not talk to Candiace and Wendy so much. You cannot keep that up and survive. You just can't. So I'm not shocked that they did have a little bit of a conversation when they're out and about, and then suddenly they can turn mean again. That's what they do. But on these shows, that's what they have to do if they want something to film.
The whole thing is kind of weird to me, and this is why I'll often place the blame on Wendy. They didn't, for whatever reason, in season 6, they didn't show Gizelle's apology to Wendy, which is weird to me. But they did share a digital short. I don't even know if this scene played out on TV, but I know it did on a digital short because I've recently shared it in groups. There's a conversation in season 6 of Mia's get together where they discuss Gizelle's apology. Like they sit down like civilized women and have a conversation. And they kind of explain, Gizelle was like, well, that's why I apologize for this. And she says, okay, the conversation ended so well. I remember the thing that I remember Wendy specifically saying is, oh, okay, I received that. Now I understand the dynamic, particularly between Gizelle and Karen. And then we spend the whole hiatus talking about Gizelle like a dog. Now, you all may feel like she's warranted. I'm not going to argue with that. But all I'm saying is I understand why she didn't want to hug her when season 7 rolled around. Because if y'all right now, you could go to YouTube and watch the after show. Wendy and Candiace roasted the mess out of that girl. I mean, they talked about her so bad. And if you think it was warranted, fine. I'm not going to argue with you about it. But I will say, I understand why she didn't want to hug her. And even Gizelle didn't say, get away from me. She said, we got to have a conversation first. That's all she said. And they didn't speak all 7 seasons. And 8 seasons come around and you're seeing the same thing. So I don't think it's an ice out. It's just like, dude, I wronged you. I came to you and I apologized to you. That's what you do. Wendy has not done that to Gizelle. Now, you ain't got to like Gizelle to understand that situation. Yes, Gizelle was wrong. Hands down, flat out. If you my girl, you my friend, why you bringing some bull crap to me? But, okay, you did. Gizelle apologizes. They have a discussion even about the apology. Everything is good. But you spend all of hiatus talking about me like
that? Okay. You shouldn't, it should not matter because we do know, and you've even said it yourself.
They weren't good. Just because they found common ground doesn't mean they were just back to how they were. Like, no, I'm still mad.
Okay, then fine. Don't say it's Gizelle then, because it couldn't be. She did what she was supposed to do.
I mean, it was her fault.
Apology.
If Wendy attempts to make an apology,
she was wrong.
If Wendy attempts to make an apology and Gizelle don't want to have nothing to do with her, then that's not Wendy's fault.
It ain't. Oh, okay.
It would be Gizelle's fault, would it not?
But you owe me an apology. She literally said, before you start hugging, we need to have a conversation.
Okay,
that's all she said. She didn't say we ain't talking. And the
conversation did not owe Gizelle anything, because if Gizelle wouldn't have done what she done, nothing would have happened to her. See, that's again when the villains want to be villains, but then cry when they come back on them. This ain't
about that. This is about being an adult. These are not 20-year-olds, Demetrio. If I do you wrong, Demetrio.
Wendy doesn't owe her an apology.
If I do you wrong as a person, and I come to you and apologize, maybe you ain't ready for it. Maybe you ain't ready for it. But then you go and then you talk about me. At this point, I don't owe you nothing. You owe me an apology, or we can't be friends. And if you don't think you owe me an apology, cool. I ain't gonna be your friend. I'm okay with that.
Well, she's not anybody's friend, so we need to stop throwing that.
You owe me an apology. I can't. If I wrong you and you expect an apology from me and I give it to you, but you can't give me one when you wrong me. That ain't real life.
But we're talking about reality TV, so we know it ain't real life.
Wendy could talk about it however she wanted to talk about. They wanted the after show. That's what you do on the after show.
She wasn't talking about the incident. She talked about her family. She continued to talk about their girls. If go watch the after show, she talked about their girls.
Joy, some of us just want to watch the show and see what's on the show. And based on what we see on the show, not the after show, some of us might be.
But the after show is where the issue is.
Okay, but Joy, the after show is not part of the regular show. And so the fact is, we have seen Wendy attempt to communicate with the girl, and the girl don't want nobody to communicate. She thinks she can act any way she wants to act and be okay because she's Gizelle. That's why Mia is in her chair. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, let's move it along. Ashley and this guy. So apparently, some former professional football player, Ashley is kind of crushing over. Whoever this guy is, she's seen in pictures with him because somebody posted it. Have y'all seen him?
No.
His name is Vernon Davis. He's a former NFL player. That somebody posted a picture of them together somewhere. Now it could have been like it looked like it was maybe a red carpet situation and an event situation, and they took a picture together. But yeah, they took a picture together somewhere because people been posting it. But apparently she has a crush on him. What y'all think about Karen's response? She seemed really interested in what this girl was doing with this man. What y'all think?
Nothing really.
I think Karen is just old and bored, and this is her entertainment.
Well, I was about to say that. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything of it. She just wants something to talk about.
Yeah, people been laughing at it in groups. I was kind of tickled by it. It do seem like Karen was crushing on him a little bit.
This show is good for Karen's life, like for real. Like I genuinely feel like that's why Karen has been in with these girls to make her feel young. She's in the spotlight, like Karen is. That's why Karen is okay with me, man.
Yeah. And she plays into a lot of things. Because to me, when they asked Karen how many sexual partners she'd had in the last 5 years, to me, that was an easy answer. One. Like, why was it a difficult question for Karen?
That Karen has probably had boyfriends. So I don't even listen to really what she says anymore because she just is such a natural born non-truth teller. She can talk and I don't even pay attention.
I remind people this all the time. If y'all are true fans of Potomac, like the first 4 reunions, people talked about how much of a liar Karen is. Like, that was like a running thing. Like, that girl just was lying. So yeah, I like Karen. Karen, I don't dislike her. I think she takes this whole fence thing. Oh, did I talk about that last week? Or was that, I think that was last week, where Gizelle had made the comment in confessional about humping the fence or riding the fence or whatever. And I said, I wonder, is that where Karen gets her her
intro,
her tagline from?
Probably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Yeah, I always tell people that I was arguing with folks in the group that their taglines give you hints into what their storyline is. Because Karen really didn't have an outside storyline. It was pretty much surrounded around being in the middle, trying to mend fences. I noticed that Karen has been asking more questions this season, again, because Gizelle's sitting back. I do remember saying at some point, Gizelle, girl, they showing they could go on without you. It look a little fake, but they can keep on going on. You can't do too many sit downs.
Okay.
Normally Gizelle is the one that's in the mix, and the person that asks the questions always gets the heat. They're always the ones. That's the reason why everybody mad at
I think Gizelle could just stand in her shit. That's what I want from Gizelle. Just stand in it. Like, girl, yeah, I had questions about your marriage or your taxes, and I did it. Like just stand in it. Like, it just kills me how she does all these things and then becomes the victim. Like, very Brooke Logan.
She has never. This is the first season she's ever done this. This is the first season. Now, she may have a reason, may explain why she asks what, but Gizelle has never backed away from things that she actually said. She may explain. We could go over and over. It's just kind of like when they were saying,
like,
well,
why was she very Brooke Logan?
Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, moving along. Anybody else want to comment on that? So, what did y'all think about the conversation with because they were at the table? Do y'all remember what they was talking about at the table?
No.
And that was pretty much when Mia was drinking in her confessional and she was saying somebody working her out, talking about Karen, and it ain't right. Because they was like, she didn't hire the trainer who's not really a trainer. He just looked good and work out. So that's her personal trainer. Like, what do y'all think about this new girl?
Necker?
No, the
fighter. I kind of like her. We've seen that she can get a little crunk. And that could be good and bad. But I like her. Do you like her?
I'm finna sound elitist when I say this.
Oh God.
She's Wendy's friend, so of course not, Kelly.
Okay.
I don't think a hairdresser should be on this show.
She's not just a hairdresser. She also owns a boutique.
She owns a beauty bar or something like that.
So yeah, she's not just a.
What do Gizelle do? What do Robin do? And they're on the show. Like, okay.
I think that this particular franchise has a slight elitism to it.
With Robin and Ashley them on the cast, I don't see how.
Elitism comes with either you marry well or you were born well off. None of them aren't rich per se, but some of them were born into a higher, if you want to say Candiace was, Gizelle was, Robin was, they came from elite backgrounds. Karen married very well. Anika and her husband are like a power couple on paper. Shoot, so is Wendy. Her and her husband are power couples on paper. I understand why Robin, although Juan has lost his money, is a former NFL player. He played for the Chicago Bulls. He played beside Michael Jordan. I understand why Sharice, I understand why every single person is on that cast. I don't understand why Beautician is. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that
is she married?
It kind of, it's giving me not on the mean end, but Marlo, we don't know. That's what it kind of reminds me of.
No, but we know what Kiana does, or however you say her name. We know what she does. She has a med spa. She's a business owner. We see it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at her. I'm not saying that she doesn't. Is not going to make great TV, and she might make a great friend. I definitely don't think. I haven't really seen anything to make a really big assessment, but I remember saying when Gizelle was explaining how when she met her and when she went down to see if when she was sick, I remember thinking, she a hairdresser? No. I'm not saying that she's a bad person, or I'm not so sure about where she would fit with these ladies. That's all I'm saying. Based off of what they at least pretend to be. That's all. Y'all don't want to say nothing on that.
No.
What did y'all think about? I mean, that's just how I feel about this particular franchise. I don't even think I would place her with.
She's what we want a housewife to be, though. Like she's fabulous. She dresses well. Her makeup's on point. She got her own business, establishment. We don't know if she got a man or not. We don't know, but outside of the husband aspect, she has everything else. So it's just like, and it's like we're barely getting that from Robin at all, like, or Gizelle. So it's just like she's okay.
Robin has a med spa too. So Robin has a lot of stuff going on.
Now, but she struggled for a long time, honey. So
they don't talk about this stuff a lot.
I think you're missing the point that Robin also comes from, I think, a doctor, father or mother, and what is her mom? I think was a college professor. She comes from that neighborhood of elite. She was literally in the Boys and Girls Club of that. Okay, I don't see that from her. Right now, I guess also right now, say whatever you want. If Robin's boys would be in the boys, not Red Robin. What's that boys? What's the club that they were around? That this whole franchise was based around. Her children could be in there, making her still a part of that community. Gizelle's children were in it, making them a part of that community. Karen's children are in it, making them a part of that community. All of them, I don't know enough about her, like I said, because I really mean she might, if she might be appropriate for this. I haven't really seen that. The only thing I know is she a beautician. So, and she got her own shop. Now that you say it, I didn't even know that. So that's all I'm saying is I don't see that.
I think she's been pretty vocal. She's been non-biased. She's still trying to get to know the other girls, even though she's friends with Wendy. She still is giving the other girls another chance. Like I said, she's got her own business. She's fabulous. She can dress. I mean, that's perfect. Like, she's not being biased. She's giving the other girls a chance despite being.
I don't think it's really about that. I think when you come from this from a different mindset, I just see it different. It was kind of like, it's just giving me Marlo. That's all. That's all. It's just giving me Marlo.
I disagree.
Okay, you can do that. Okay, so y'all remember when they were out there shooting?
Mm-hmm.
They and there was kind of a tiff. I wouldn't call it an argument, just a little tiff, a little tension between Aneka and the new girl, the friend. What did y'all think about that? They were kind of arguing. Well, not really arguing. They were kind of going.
What happened? What were they talking about?
Apparently, it kind of starts off with Robin, I think, asking her, the friend, did Wendy ask about them or say anything about them or kind of give them the down on the group? And she said, no.
That's why I don't like you.
And she said, oh, okay. And then she said, the friend said, I think it was more about her issue with Aneka, and it was so many cultural things she wasn't sure about. And then she said, she feels like you should apologize or something. And this also makes me think that the meeting between Aneka and her possibly could have happened after this, and it was added in.
Yeah. I think I might. Yeah, no, I think I might have been asleep on that because I don't even remember that.
Yeah, they were outside.
Focused. I just blocked them out because, well, I don't know.
Like I said, it just made me like him. She was honest and thorough, non-biased in her, concerns.
Yeah.
So,
what you looking at, Joy? What's on the TV? What's next? What's the next thing?
For whatever reason, Ashley is tripping with Ashley. He must have saw the camera some way, and he turned off his camera, and Ashley was asking him to cut on the camera. And
when that happened, it made me think that's why she might not return. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. She made clear in confessionals that her husband said that if his face is on camera, he's going to sue her. Well, even if they did,
we forgot what he looked like. I mean,
well, they can't legally show him without his written permission anyway. But they can show anything they wanted to that's old. But they can't show. They wouldn't show it anyway. Michael either doesn't understand how this works, or he's being an a-hole.
Well,
and it's about him not really having control over the situation.
Right.
So that's what it's about, really. But yeah, he was, and she does admit that a lot of her story she wasn't really allowed to tell because a lot of her life is co-parenting with him.
Yeah.
And she's not allowed to show that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think this is going to be real interesting to see what Ashley ends up doing. If he doesn't, I don't think we even need to see him on the camera, even through phone.
We don't see Sutton. We don't see Sutton's. We don't even see her children or her husband.
Well, we wouldn't really expect to see Sutton's children or husband because we don't normally, but Michael's been on the show with her for several seasons. So somebody
Sutton has brought her kids on the show several times, a lot of times actually, especially Porter.
I
think her daughter has, but
we've seen her sons as well. We've seen her sons.
Oh yeah, not a lot though. They don't have them on the show a lot.
And they had to wait till they were a certain age. She said that on Watch What Happened Live. That's why her first season on, you only saw her daughter because she had turned 18. He said that she couldn't show them. That's the reason why. She was initially supposed to come in a different season, but because she couldn't talk about a lot of stuff, they didn't let her in. She was on Watch What's Happened Live and talked about that.
I know she was supposed to be.
She said that it was true.
She was supposed to be full time. She was supposed to be full time.
No, before that, even before that, he said that he tried to get her. I can't remember what season number it was, but he wanted Sutton on. But she was still in the middle of her divorce. And she was things that she couldn't talk about. And he restricted her children from being on the show. He talked, they were in a full-on conversation, because I didn't know any of that. That's when she admitted that she found out he owned a baseball team or something. Like, Sutton laid it, like, she was very clear how she had to get a forensic accountant. I can't even remember who she was talking to, but somebody was going through a divorce, and I remember her saying to the cameras, "Come to call me. I'll tell you what to do."
But when we think about Ashley, we know that Ashley's not getting a lot of money from him whatsoever. He takes care of the children. I don't think she's getting spousal support.
She doesn't get spousal, but she does get
something for the kids.
Girl, that girl is
I
know. So, but
I think Michael still giving her money, child.
Yeah, but with Michael not wanting to be on air, not that it matters. And we know that he shows up whenever he wants to. He has a key to the house. She still feels comfortable with his money. What else is Ashley going to be able to bring us going forward? What is she going to be doing?
I have no idea.
So my point being is, will she stay on the show? I really wonder, because I don't want to see her arguing with Michael. We've been seeing that for 7 seasons, you know?
I don't want to see that either. That's not fun to watch. It may be interesting periodically, but I mean, Michael at this point is ticked off at RHOP, so I would not have any expectations for him. So if she's hired, if she continues on as herself, not as a married woman.
Another Robin to me. Like, they both have the willpower to be breakout stars, like single, getting a new man, rejuvenating their life back up. Like, they have the power. I don't know why they keep throwing it away for those two no good pieces of trash ass men they have. I just will never understand it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't look at Robin and Ashley the same, like, at all. But I think Ashley wants to still be with Michael, just knowing that she's not, and knowing that, you know, he's threatening to sue if they're on camera and everything. And she broke up with her other boyfriend because of what she was going through with Michael. I just don't see what she's going to be able to bring to the show now. So, and her divorce is not final yet. So if she's going to be held back on some things she can do and say until this is over, I just can't see her coming back next season. And so who knows if it'll happen or not, but I just can't see what else we're going to do with her.
I mean, there's more people that we can say that about, Callie.
Well, nobody else is going through a divorce from somebody like Michael, who brought so much to the show. Having said, I mean, because if you think about it, who was the bigger star, Michael or Ashley? I mean, Michael was the storyline.
It's kind of like Peter and Cynthia. Peter was definitely the bigger star than Cynthia.
He kind of said that too.
No. You gotta give me Cynthia Bailey. She had her moment, honey. We gotta give.
Of course, she had her moment.
I'm not saying that she never had a moment, but
Peter
I think that Peter was a big part of her storyline, because when her and Peter broke up, she was weird. It was almost like she was trying to find herself. It was weird. Cynthia Bailey, she even admitted that in something, that she thought that Peter was a big part of why she was hired. I'm not saying she's just a pretty face, because she wasn't. She definitely had her moments, but they were far and few between. Cynthia didn't even feel comfortable with Shay. There was an episode when her and Nene wasn't talking, and she was trying to go off on, I guess it was Phaedra. It took her 15 minutes to say whatever she was trying to say. That's not her spirit. I don't think that was just, that's not
she
her.
Made up for it at that reunion, honey, with that great back and forth between her and Phaedra. Bar 9, honey.
Yeah.
But I just think that she was just, there's some people that just marry fun people. I think that a big part of Phaedra's appeal was Apollo. Apollo is a wild card. Phaedra is very disciplined in her whatever delusion she's living in. I love Phaedra, but she was very comfortable there. What I liked about Apollo, that Apollo always was a wild card. He wasn't controllable. He wasn't containable. That's why I had respect for them as a couple. I hate the couples like Wendy and Eddie, where you play along with your wife fakeness. Like Ray don't even do that. Ray never plays into, and I'm sure they're set as a couple. It don't mean that Ray's an a-hole. It just means that if we gonna do reality TV, we gonna do reality TV. I'm not an actor.
What did Wendy's husband do other than not engage in a hostile situation? That's all he did.
I'll give you an example. A lot of this is because Wendy tries to control her narrative, which I'm sure they all do, but Wendy is just excessive about it. She's the most overproduced. This is Callie talking. The most overproduced housewife on Bravo. I'll give you an example. When
on Bravo, that is crazy when we have people like Kyle and Margaret.
They are, but Margaret's husband has walked out of the box. That's the part that I think you're missing. I will agree that Kyle definitely is. Now she's on a whole nother level of self-producing. But I'll give you an example of Wendy. The season 6 that she came back, Wendy literally pretended as if she knew nothing about a business, had a whole conversation with Eddie about it. He played into it. All along, they had an LLC and license to sell a business with their business name on it. You ain't got to believe me. I can't remember the name of her business, but if you remember it from her website, you can literally Google it and it tells you the date that her business was established and all the things that they had already done. The date that's on there was literally before we even met Wendy in season 5. I'll give you another example. Season 6. Let me finish. Season 6. Wait a minute. No, let me finish. I'll come back. I'll give you a whole time to talk. I'll shut up. Season 6, when her and Gizelle got into it at Williamsburg, when she went off on Gizelle, Wendy went to sleep that night. She called her. No producers probably told her to call her husband. She went to sleep that night with some hoop earrings on and a full face, called her husband and didn't mention what Gizelle had at all. She didn't want us to hear a natural reaction from Eddie. But we did hear when they got back home, the same old hurt people. It was very produced, just like when the last season when she had her surgery. She came out of the hospital with full jewelry and a full force makeup. Wendy overproduces to the point where her personal scenes, I ain't talking about when she's with the girls, I'm talking about her personal led scenes, always seem fake. They don't seem natural. Gizelle has her girls to keep her honest because they gonna shade the mess out of her. Robin has Juan who won't shade.
The only good thing about Gizelle, and even that's still boring.
That's your opinion, Demecio, and that's fine. But that doesn't take away that Wendy's isn't either. They're self-produced. They're fake and phony. They don't even feel real. Like they're like terrible acting scenes. That's not. Karen does that too. But what makes it funny is Ray, because Ray ain't gonna go along with her script. Ray gonna move up them steps real slow. Karen gonna pretend to be sexy. Remember that, Callie? And then she gonna say, I know how to take care of my man. And Ray gonna say, you have been neglectful. Exactly. Everybody has somebody to humble them and keep them honest, even as they're faking the scene. Wendy does it. That's all I'm saying. She doesn't. And when you have it makes a terrible housewife because we can see through the phoniness. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Like, this isn't just a me thing, that there are like constant conversations about that with Wendy. Like, she doesn't leave. And I think that's why last season, especially, she hardly had no personal led scenes outside of that surgery thing. And it's because she may have filmed them. But producers don't find it interesting. It seems too overproduced, in my opinion. Let me say something. Mia's last season did too. Her interaction with her friend Jacqueline, that stuff was so awkward making. I know G was like, what the heck is going on? Like, you remember when I bought her car? Like, those are forced scenes. We see anybody that I've been watching reality TV way too long. I'll admit it. Way too long. I can smell phoniness when I see it. Go on, y'all finished?
Mm-hmm.
I'm finished, Demecio Rocket.
Demecio, wake up.
You know what?
All
At
right.
this point, Sal, this is just your opinion and y'all's opinions, just like you said about me.
Yeah, you're welcome to it. I'm okay with you having an opinion. I ain't never been okay with you not having an opinion.
Well, I don't know about that, Joy.
I don't care about his opinion. I got mine, he got his. I act like
That's what I'm
y'all know me
saying.
a little bit.
That's what I said. I said just like you told me, that's just your opinion.
It is.
Yeah.
I know I'm one individual. I know I'm not alone, but I'm one individual. I don't try to be a whole bunch of people. I'm just telling you how I see and how I look at reality TV. I can smell phoniness when I visually see it. I read between the lines good.
I can't tell considering how you stand for Gizelle.
This whole
exactly, D.
What? What'd he say?
Mm-hmm.
What'd he say? Okay, that's what I thought. Anyway, if y'all go back to the first episode of this season,
I said that I can't tell because you said Gizelle. I'm at work. That's why I didn't respond just right off the bat. But that's what I said.
I still don't understand.
That you stand for Gizelle, so I can't tell how you can fly phoniness in the face. I can't tell.
Okay. Anyway, if y'all go back to this season, first episode, I told y'all what Candiace really thought, and y'all thought I was tripping.
Candiace.
What? And I said, if y'all go back, I just listened to it. The first episode, I said Candiace thinks that Gizelle and them conspired to if y'all go back and find it.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I uploaded it. Y'all was like, I said, yes, she does. I read between lines very, very well. It's a gift and a curse.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, it's a gift and a curse. But I can read between lines very well because although I talk a lot, I do listen. And I'm listening
I don't know.
I listen to a lot of what you don't say versus what you are saying. I do talk a lot. I ain't gonna argue that. But I do listen. I listen more than you think. But anyway, I think that was, I don't know what else. I don't know.
No, I don't either. That's why I gave it a 5. I mean, it was just normal stuff.
I think they only have I think I looked it up, 2 more episodes left before the reunion. Mm-hmm. I will say this. I hope that the powers that be are listening, because I will admit that I admire that there have been no leaks, this season, especially, really, we didn't get any leaks the whole season for real, but we also haven't received any leaks about the reunion.
Yeah, we haven't.
But we also haven't seen their dresses, and we normally see their dresses about now.
So they'll probably be coming out next week. I don't know, with Gizelle still having her panties up in a bunch and everything and not wanting to talk to anybody. I'm really not looking forward to the reunion. I mean, what the heck are they going to talk about aside from NECA and Wendy? Which, Lord God, please don't let them drag that out.
Did you see the post that I did post?
I swear to God. I swear to God.
Did y'all see?
About everything.
What? Did we see what, Joy?
I posted in our group earlier, right before Facebook went dark on us, that there was one leak, and I don't know if that was really a leak or if Andy purposely put that out there, but on Andy's radio station, he said that the majority of the reunion was dedicated to, let me see if I can read it verbatim. The majority of
resolution. I seen that too.
Yeah. is
Well,
that
it's a good thing, actually. It's a good thing.
yeah, he said that. Let me read
God, I
it.
don't want to see that.
Somebody posted that. Oh, and also I'll tell you something else I read today. That Gizelle's twins, the girls, have committed to various colleges. That Angel has committed to Spelman, and Adore has committed to Hampton. So Gizelle's girls are going to be at Florida A&M. I don't know how she's going to deal with that. Spelman, which is in Atlanta, and Hampton, which is in Virginia. How she dealing with that? How she going to deal with that is a clue to me. I mean, I'm surprised those twins aren't going to the same place.
Yeah, I am too, actually.
And I hate to say this out loud, but I do have a prediction.
They'll go 1 year and then be back, or they probably won't even make it a year.
Yeah, they'll separate for a year.
Yeah, they're gonna come back together.
One of them will go decide to be with the other.
Yeah,
or at least closer. Cause maybe she go to Clark. Cause I'm a HBCU fanatic. I love it's a joy. I just send kids to HBCUs. I buy TVs, microwaves, refrigerators, you name it.
I think everybody deserves a freshman year at an HBCU, especially if you're black.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah,
you deserve at least 1 year.
I think that people I say this, and my daughter laughs at me. She used to laugh at me when I used to say this right before she went to school and when she was kind of in school. I said when I was at A&M, I went to Alabama A&M. Those were the best years of my life. My daughter says, that's pathetic. I say, wait till you get there. I would tell her, wait. I found myself in Huntsville, Alabama. I did. I found me. I blossomed into myself there. Those were the best years of my life. So
I agree. If I could live my freshman year for the next 5 years, I would. I was going out, kicking it, partying, and going to school with no money. I don't know how I did it.
Yeah. And I had those where I made better grades in college than I ever did in high school. Ever did, because I already knew, first of all, I had gotten a scholarship my sophomore year and I had to maintain it because my father had lost his job my sophomore year. So I knew I had to maintain it, and I only had to keep like a 3.2. But baby, I made sure I kept that 3.2 because I wasn't stay at school, and he paid my car note. But baby, whew, those were some years. People have no clue, like zero, zilch, what it's like to be on the HBCU campus and you find yourself. You really do find yourself, especially if you stay on campus. I moved off campus my sophomore year and it was a little bit funky. It was different. But anyway, I wish all them girls well. I thought it was really cool that she's going to have 3 HBCU babies.
I know she'll be proud, and she'll be having more time to do with her Jason or whoever it is that she's going to be with. She'll definitely have some free time.
Full crowd.
She is going to be busy, so that's cool. But I will say, just getting back to the reunion, I don't want to see them resolve stuff at a reunion. I mean, I like when they do. I like when they do, but not when the entire season has been so against resolution that the reunion is going to be a forced place for resolution. I don't like forced resolutions. So
I don't think I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, I'm done. So that's what I'm not looking for.
I don't know.
I can agree with that, Callie.
I don't know if I would. First of all, I have to see it first. But in my head, I think it's actually a good place because I think these issues that they're having, they need a mediator. And for whatever their reasons, I mean, I guess rightfully so, maybe he's considered pretty much like their boss, and they're going to act differently. I don't think we're going to hear the free dumb of going off on each other. Not to say that they're not going to go off on each other, because they absolutely will. But I just think it'll be more reserved in front of Andy. That's just my thought. Because
I feel like if Gizelle could just let go of the Brooke Logan effect, things would be okay. So hopefully that's how it goes.
Yeah,
That's what I'm hoping
that's
for.
maybe
She
I'm
just let go of the Brooke Logan effect, and we'll be okay. Because that means taking ownership for doing people wrong. You're not the victim here.
so anyway.
I might actually miss the reunion.
I'm definitely gonna watch it, because I feel like I would rather watch it like this in 3 parts than for it to be like what we see at the beginning of Housewives of Beverly Hills, where they went to some shaman somewhere, and then everybody started breaking out with their things, and they just let it wash. You can't really resolve some of the things that they've been dealing with have been several seasons. I just don't think you can do that in one episode. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't think you can either. We know that it's not what Gizelle wants. So that right there is always going to be at the top of my mind. And that's not going to be enjoyable to watch them be forced to get
I don't think so. Did you watch her on Watch What's Happening Live? Because Andy talked about that. One of the questions that they have asked all of them, every last one of them that have come on Watch What's Happening Live, somebody has asked to divide. And every last one of them. I think
I've watched everybody on Watch What Happens Live except for Gizelle. I just am not Gizelle this season.
When they asked them, they all answered the same way. We're going to have to resolve this. One of the things that I know about Gizelle, well, I don't know, but I feel like I know about Gizelle, she's kind of like Nene, in a sense of, I'm gonna talk bad, I might talk crap, but that's in her mind, she wants what's best for the show. And
that's not true.
I think that sometimes when you watch yourself for a season and realize, hey, maybe that wasn't the best thing to do, I may have needed to do that at the time. And I am mindful that Giselle's father was dying during this time. He was sick.
Joy.
He literally died 2 weeks after they stopped filming. That's fact. They stopped filming.
I know, but what does that have to do with this?
I think that when you are going, I don't know what mindset you were in. I mean, I ain't gonna say that because I don't know anything about your parents. When my father was dying, particularly early 2020, right before COVID hit, the months November, December, January, and February. My father died the 17th of March. Those were the most stressful time. That was so stressful because at some point I thought my father was going to pull through. But at some point I realized that I couldn't. And unfortunately, it was in the middle of a street with him literally falling and I couldn't pick him up. And a strange guy had to help. Some strange guy saw me struggling and helped me pick him up and walked him back to the car. That's the day, and it was in January, that I knew my father was sick. That whatever was going on, he wasn't going to bounce back. And this was happening in January, between January, February, and March, I was a nervous wreck. I was popping CBD, trying not to take an anti-anxiety drug. I was on edge. I was losing my hair. I was stressed to the max because none of my siblings were here. And I had to make all of these decisions by myself.
Yep, that sounds like pretty close to what I went through when my mom died. She died 90 days after her diagnosis of lung cancer stage 4. So I've been there, I've been there. But I could never use that as an excuse to be good with everybody else except for 2 people that had nothing to do with my family.
That's not an excuse about whether or not you're good with somebody. It's just like, I ain't trying to add nothing else to my plate. Because if you and I have an argument,
you are deliberately upset with somebody, you are deliberately choosing to not move forward. You are adding.
That's your perspective. I don't see it that way. Yes, I see it avoiding. I see what you be as avoiding.
A certain kind of a headset. You have to have a certain
kind of mindset
conflict to not to not want to move forward with somebody.
But I don't want to.
You have to hold on to that anger. You have to let that stuff weigh you down in order to not be able to move away from it, and that is draining. So, but I
totally
want to bring in.
I agree, Kelly. Especially
I totally
when you
disagree.
started.
I'm a maybe
Kelly.
it's the January Capricorn in me that I avoid conflict. I avoid being in pain.
But Gizelle's not a January Capricorn, so I think
she's not. She's a Virgo. I avoid being in pain.
We need to stick to what's going on the show.
If I'm already dealing with a dying parent, I ain't trying to sit up here and argue with you because I already got enough on my plate.
Yeah, but Joy, I think we need to keep that personal stuff out of it, because if it were something like that going on and she wanted to bring it up on the show, she would have. And if it was a struggle for her to bring it up on,
I didn't bring up.
Okay.
The whole time, I'll say this: the whole time,
did she bring it up with the people that she
still had to get up and go to work? The whole time,
with the people that she wasn't mad at.
The whole time my father was sick, I had to get
we're
up
talking about
and
the
go
show.
to work
we can't
every
keep
day.
Using
I can. I do have to
use
use myself because I'm placing myself in her.
And I'm using myself. I cannot hold on to
and
that
that's fine.
over another person.
The difference between me,
but we're trying to keep it to the show. We can't throw all this in one direction because of something going on outside of the show. And so when you do that, it makes people, might hear what we're saying on the other end. Oh my God, she's been insensitive. And that's not the case. The fact is, I'm just talking about the show. We all have things going on outside of the world. But if I am that angry where I can be good with everybody else in the southwest of the university, except for these two people, that is a deliberate thing I'm putting on me to further keep my stress level high. It's already there because of whatever is going on.
I agree, especially when you're the culprit, when you're the villain in this movie. Like,
no.
I just, that's fine. Different people handle stress differently. I'm an avoider.
In the words
I am
iconic Garcelle Beauvais, honey, baby Gizelle Bryant, you are the bad guy in this movie, honey.
Anyway, everybody handles stress differently. We can agree to disagree. It's simple.
Yes, we can. We shouldn't bring it up for these shows.
But I do think that there are a lot of people out there that are avoiders. I am an avoider. And so I definitely didn't want to fight. I literally can remember days, and just to show you, we can end the conversation here. But there were days I can remember saying, I just got some really bad news to my kids. I got some really bad news. I just need a stress-free day today. Let's try to get through this lesson. And usually they comply. Gizelle has chosen not to even mention what was going on with her father and to keep it in her, which also tells me, which is probably another set of stress that she's dealing with. It's a lot going on. I don't think that there are things that necessarily are excuses. I just think that they explain the situation. I don't think that's an excuse, though.
That explains it for you.
Especially when a real person died. But it is.
Joy, that's not fair to do that.
But again, as I said before, it probably wouldn't be a fight if Gizelle just come off of the Brooke Logan effect and just say, I'm sorry.
They haven't accepted her apology. She's apologized to both Wendy and her. If they don't want her apology, they want to fight with her. They want to
it's not a real apology
on her. They don't want an apology.
So then so you're saying they don't want an apology, yet the reunion, from what you said, I haven't seen what you're referring to. You say the majority of the reunion is going to be all about resolution. Well, look, they didn't accept an apology, then why are they about to be forced to do it in a 3-part reunion?
I wouldn't accept the apology either.
You ask Andy.
Well, we're trying to talk about Andy, but we're changing the focus to stick to how you felt or how I felt. So we need to ask ourselves, actually. But, long story short of it all, a reunion, no one should be forced to apologize if that's not what they want to do. It is what it is. There cannot be any outside things that come into this, because we don't know nothing about that.
I mean, I don't blame Wendy and Candiace for still talking about Gizelle even after the fact that she gave her fake ass apology. She still doesn't feel like she did anything wrong. So, bitch, fuck you.
So there you go.
All
Okay.
right. Well, I think that's it for the day. We got anything else? Did y'all watch Married to Medicine?
I watched just the clips online.
Same. It was boring.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was,
I mean, I still hate the Jackie part.
Why they didn't discuss what she said?
I cannot stand that trifling, raggedy crowd. You are wrong, Dr. Jackie.
Why didn't they discuss what happened? That's what I was disappointed about. They discussed her reaction. Like, why you sitting up here crying over something you said? Because you get backlash.
And the reason that she's crying over that is because people took it in a way that she said she didn't mean it.
I mean, come on now. Like, and then I never thought Quad. Well, I wouldn't have thought
I
that
never
Quad
thought that either. I'm glad you said that.
But I thought they said that they traced it to Buffy. They didn't say Buffy's name, but they said a former castmate. We all know it was Buffy.
What part are they saying they traced to Buffy? What?
They said all the markings traced back to Buffy. But I don't know. I don't understand why they didn't discuss what she said, because she shouldn't have said it. It ain't like Jackie up there crying like somebody slandered her. Girl, you crying over your own words. Like, you said it, and she meant it at the time. All I kept thinking is, I would never go to her. I would never go to Jackie. Because if that's how, like, for real, like, I know I had 2 babies, and my first epidural didn't take. For whatever reason, it did not take. And so I had a natural, unwanted natural birth. And they kept shooting me and shooting me and shooting me. And all they kept saying is, this happens every once in a blue moon. But my epidural didn't take. And when I had my second baby, I had a C-section. And I couldn't imagine somebody telling me I ain't in pain, because I was in excruciating pain. Like, I couldn't even speak.
Joy, do you oh my God, that little topic right there. I mean, it breaks my heart for anyone who's gone through losing a child. I've definitely been through that, but it also broke my heart for Jackie, knowing that she wasn't trying to say the way that it was taken. In my opinion, she said, of course, there are people out there that lie if they don't want to go to work. If they don't want to do something, they quit to tell a lie. She's on a call with Heavenly, right? Yeah, her and Heavenly on their little video call or whatever. Yeah. And she said, just be honest. We get a lot of people here that are not being honest about it. And that makes people not take you seriously. And I think that is a fact. Do you think that's not true what she said? She didn't say all women.
I don't know. It seemed very insensitive from a doctor. I don't. Maybe there are women that don't want to go to work anymore, so they trying to over exaggerate their back pain because they want to be placed on maternity leave. I'm sure they've come across cases like that. I'm sure they've come across. I imagine that's possible. So, I've only had 2 babies, and I'm not in the medical industry. I just know that when I had my first baby, I felt every push and tear. And
of course you did.
I was in excruciating pain. I would have smoked crack if somebody had put it in front of me and they told me it would go away.
Of course you did, but there are. But see, you said yours was an epidural, and you're up here in labor. Of course, I don't know how, if your epidural didn't work, yet you're putting all that pain. I don't know how a doctor couldn't look at you and see, oh, she ain't lying. That's an epidural. So, that's different. But there are absolutely people out there that lie.
I'm sure. So I just don't know the scenarios, because, like I said, I'm not in the medical field. I can't really tell you. I could only tell you that I've had parents that have flat out come to me straight up with the exact words was, help me make my child dependent so I can keep the check that they get in my name. I've had parents that have flat out asked me that.
So you did. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I don't know. So you're saying you've had parents ask you to lie for them?
Literally, because their children are on IEPs and they've been getting a check for them up to a certain age, and now they're finna turn 18. I had a parent, I mean, who I was really, really cool with because I had her daughter for 4 years, who back then the diagnosis was mental retardation. They've changed it since then to intellectually disabled. But back then it was an MR diagnosed, and she wanted that check to continue in her name, and she wanted me to make her incompetent so she could keep the check. I told her, you got to talk to your daughter.
Just so Joy, and so
I can get it. I don't know a scenario.
So, but what if you, knowing what that lady asked you to do, what if that wasn't the first time? What if people know what you do for a living? They know you might have a chance to help them out with something, and they've asked you to do that on multiple occasions.
I don't know a scenario. I just don't know a scenario. Yeah, yeah.
And so on multiple occasions, they've asked you to help them out with that. And then one day you're on the phone with me and Montique and Dee, and you say, I really wish people would stop asking. I really wish Black people would stop asking me to help them get an extra check. And so then the entire world went at you because you have now said Black people are only coming to you to get another check. That would not be
I hear you, but look, it was a white woman who had a mixed daughter.
Let's just say
but yeah, I get what you're saying. But so
that's my thing. Yeah. So if Dr. Jackie's on there, Dr. Jackie said, well, yeah, people should just stop crying wolf. There are people out there that do that. And we know that there are people out there that do that. So we should also know that Jackie is not talking about every person in the world.
I hear you. Maybe if she had gotten personal and gave a scenario, maybe it would have it just didn't sound good. I personally wouldn't go to Jackie, and not just even because of that, but even prior to people were saying that the Jackie that you see on television, the only celebrities get her, that she's short, they don't like her bedside manner. In my opinion, your OBGYN has to have, I know that everybody can't be on all the time, but they really do have to be nice people. Because
they don't have to be nice people. My doctor was one of
the for me to patronize you, you do. I had a doctor. I had one rude incident with her, and I left. She ain't gonna miss my money, and I ain't gonna
for you. Giving it. So but would you want that doctor to never be able to work with anybody again? Because she did. No. She said something. Okay, then my point is, then why is everybody so quick to punish Jackie as if that was the end of the world when she made that comment? All she said was, "We need to stop crying wolf." We know there's people that do that. Why do you think people took it?
Well, I can't stand Jackie personally, so that's why I'm here for.
It sounds bad. It doesn't. I wouldn't. My OB-GYN, I have the OB-GYNs that I have had. Unfortunately, I've had 3 because have had great bedside manner. But I had a pediatrician that it was actually the wife of one of my actual OB-GYN. It's a whole bunch of people out there that you can have a client. I have choices. And I'm not going to be with a doctor that's short with me and has terrible bedside manner. Period.
And you shouldn't have to be.
I don't care who you are.
I really don't care about it. Just long as you don't give me the wrong diagnosis, we ain't got to talk because I'm only here for one thing anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I just think everything that happened to her over something that y'all know is true. People lie a lot. People do it all the time.
I'm not saying that they don't, but it sounds bad. It still sounds.
She's trying to. She is saying as a Black doctor, she is saying to Black people what she sees and what other doctors see. If we keep lying about this, they ain't never gonna believe us. How the heck did this turn into? Let's just cancel her 100%.
Because I don't know if you watch the TikTok videos, there are a lot of people that are telling their own personal stories.
They also Kelly, I can't see it how you trying to say it, because Jackie could just be coming from, and I never thought about this until now, that she could be coming from a place of, did she work around a lot of white people? Because if so, she could be hearing this type of stuff, and that may be why she's saying it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, she's saying,
I feel
But
like
I still don't like Jackie, so I'm here for them.
it feels like Jackie is playing into the medical observation, and at this point it's a scientific fact that that they've studied over a very long period of time. You can Google articles on it where they talk about when Black people say that they have a pain of 7, they're being treated at a pain of 4.
We know all that.
Where, wait a minute, and they're treated like that over a large number. Let's say, I'm making up numbers, I don't know the real numbers, but it was like over 50%. Whereas the white women, if they say that they are at a 7, they're treated at a 7 at 90 some odd percent. So a white woman's word is taken more seriously than a Black woman's word. That's fact. That's not a Joy assessment. That you can, there have been articles upon
not questioning that,
articles of that. And medically, so it feels like when I go, the reason that I drive my lazy butt across town for OBGYN is because I don't have a Black one in my neighborhood. I specifically have all Black doctors for my children, myself, now some specialists that I've had to deal with that weren't. But when I go to a Black doctor, I don't expect you to deal in stereotypes. Now, I can't vouch for a whole
stereotypes.
Bunch of that's literally a stereotype. That the whole
if it's
a
Black doctor that are seeing these patients, if it's a Black doctor that are seeing these patients that are lying,
but you can't. But I think the point that you're missing is maybe Julie was lying, or Shaquan, who just left your office. Maybe she was lying, but Joy isn't lying.
Okay,
but you're assuming that I might be. That I don't go to doctors like that.
She is saying, and what she said is, so I think you're missing it, Joy. No, we know that you are not the one that lied, but the other one did. So
the point is, you don't know that.
Platform talking to another Black woman, and I simply say, for those, you know, these people out here that cry wolf, we do see it. I wish y'all would stop, because you are hurting everybody when you do that. So you don't have to lie.
That's not what she said. That's not what she's saying. She was like, well, we know what she was like, you know, sometimes she was trying to.
That is exactly what she's saying.
But how do you know?
Black women can cry wolf, and I wish y'all would stop so that we can be taken more seriously.
That's not, wow, that's definitely.
That's exactly what she's saying. That's exactly what she's saying. She sees it. And of course, not everybody is out there doing that. But because I see it, me as a Black doctor, let me just say, we got to stop crying wolf, or they are never take us seriously. Now, how that turned into what it
First of all, she was accusatory first. She was saying something like, y'all know, sometimes when we go to the doctor, we ain't always truthful.
And how do they know that? Because she was a doctor that sees it.
How do you know? How do you know? You can't dictate, like, unless
Joy, I just answered that.
You can't.
She is going off of the patients that she has seen. And of course, we know patients lie. So when I say that, we got to stop crying wolf. Do you really think that means every single Black person in the world goes to the OBGYN and lies?
Yeah, she started off saying that we dramatic. We know it's Black women. We dramatic.
Okay, Joy, is that a lie? Are there not some people that are dramatic? Are there not some people that lie? So when a Black doctor sees that, you don't want her to say that?
That's an unfair question. You absolutely know that people lie and that people can over-exaggerate.
Okay,
but
so no, it's not an unfair
question. I don't want to deal with a doctor that's assuming that I could be lying. Period.
that makes it not an unfair question or an unfair comment because you said you know it. Yes, I do know it. And don't you know it? So when she says that, if you know what she's saying is partially true, then why the heck or what's the big deal? She's saying, so we got to stop crying wolf, y'all, because they're not going to take us seriously. It's a fact. How is that not a fact? You just basically sat here and said the same thing.
I personally would not give my insurance card to a doctor that actually verbally says, and look, my doctor may feel the same way, but I don't see my doctor on TV. So if I would not go to a doctor or patronize a doctor that actually says, you know, we Black folks is dramatic, we didn't cry wolf our whole pregnancy, and now you ain't being taken seriously. I'm like, how you know I was crying wolf? Like when people are pregnant, especially your first pregnancy, everything is new to you. You can read what to expect when you're expecting, which does a wonderful job of breaking down, you know, things that you could expect in a pregnancy. But the reality is you turn one way and you feel a sharp pain and you're wondering, what was that? Or my mucus plug came out. I didn't know what it was. I'm thinking it's just my mucus plug. My second pregnancy, my water broke and I didn't know it because it didn't come out in a splash like it did in my first pregnancy. It was coming out with glumps, almost like a warm gel, like the amniotic fluid.
Can we stick to the point?
My point is, I didn't know what was happening. I don't think that if I call my doctor and my doctor is like, you know, X, Y, and Z, or assuming that I'm crying wolf, like I don't know what's happening. I didn't read
how many times have you called your doctor and said this thing appears to be coming out? How many times have you told a lie about that?
I personally haven't.
Okay, so your doctor has no record of you lying on a regular basis.
No, he don't.
So my point being is, so that doctor would have no reason to think that you're lying, Joy. But there are definitely some people that lie about the same thing over and over and over and over again. So when a doctor sees that and they're on the platform talking about that and they say, just look, we got to stop with the crying wolf because you're going to make people not take us seriously. So you as an individual patient, because she wasn't in a doctor's office with one patient, she was on YouTube with old girl. So you as an individual patient that don't normally lie, then when you go in there to your doctor, chances are they're going to take you pretty seriously. They should take everybody seriously. But if I'm looking at your record and this is the same thing you said last week and last month, and then you got 9 kids and you said that for the first 15 months of all the 9 months.
She didn't give that scenario. She was talking very vague.
She didn't give a scenario. She didn't give one scenario.
I said that. She didn't give that scenario. She gave a scenario as Black women, we are dramatic, as if as a whole, we are known for over exaggerating. That's really the issue, Callie. She made an overall assessment as if this was the mass majority of us. And when you say things, you start off, she literally started off saying,
you took it as if it was the mass majority.
She literally started off saying, as African-American women, you know we are dramatic. As if this is a us problem. I would not patronize her. You can explain it all day long. If there are some us's, I wouldn't give her a dime of my money.
On a regular basis,
you can
go
to her.
Shocked about?
Fine. I feel totally different. We talking in circles at this point because
we are because everything you're saying and I'm rebutting accurately. It's like you don't want to hear anything else. So that's it's not about I want to hear, Callie. That's not how life works. I just disagree. That is how life works.
I don't like her disposition. Period. This ain't about unliking. I don't like her disposition. I don't like the points that she made. I think she's rude. I don't like her.
Well, let's just stick to the one thing, whether she's rude or not. We're just talking about, are there people that lie? Yes. If you see those people and you get a whole lot of people lying, then the chances are you keep that up. Yeah, we keep all this crying wolf when there's not really a need to cry wolf. People will never take us seriously. And that is a fact. On any day of the week, on any month in your pregnancy.
Okay, we at 1:38. I think I'm going to go ahead and end this call. I think we done. But yeah, it wasn't that, the reunion wasn't that great, in my opinion.
I will go ahead and head out, you guys.
All right, take care of me.
Like,
Yeah, but I think it pretty much the biggest issue that people were arguing about was whether or not Simone should have mentioned Quad's, the death at Quad's house.
Yeah.
People were, they dragging the mess out of poor Simone on I guess that's X. They were really upsetting. Honey, Quad, I don't know what her Quad Squad, I don't know what they call them. They've been on the mission talking about Simone.
That's sad.
Under the circumstances, again, I actually agree with Simone because I felt like Quad kind of dared her because the conversation, this is just my opinion, but in the conversation, it was about whether or not I think Simone had made the comment that Quad is never there for her off camera. And basically, that's been their issue with Quad. They've been talking about this for several seasons, by the way. That Quad really don't mess with them off camera because they were like, "So you coming with us tonight?" They've been saying, I mean, at least 3 seasons. So this is just it hitting the head. And Simone made the comment, "You're never there for me off camera." And then Andy said, "Well, do you call her?" And she said, "No." She said, "We don't call each other." She said, "But I've been there for you after off camera." And she was like, "We don't talk to each other." And Simone was like, "I was just there for you with the situation at your house." And Andy, it's cut. Andy must have asked her another question. Or I think he did. And then she answered that her niece was killed at her house. And of course, Quad went into the fake tears. I did not see one tear
You did not just say the girl was faking the tears.
Not one tear duck. And I'm not saying that she's not hurt or upset about her niece. Of course she is. I mean, I don't think.
So do you think Simone heard her try to ask her not to say anything? Do you think?
Yeah, she did. She did. You see Quad at some point shake her head. Quad at some point does shake her head. But that's after she made the first comment. And you kind of get the impression that, and I want to say, he said, "Well, what happened?" And I think Quad was shaking her head no. And then Simone explained it in a very detailed way that her niece was killed at her house. And he was like, "Oh, okay." So people feel like Simone shouldn't have said that, feel like that was disrespectful. And I'm like, how? Other than they were saying they hurt her feelings. I was like, okay, I get that. I mean, I don't think Quad is heartless. I absolutely believe that it bothers her. But I'm like, why would you say that girl wasn't there for you when she was? Even if she had remembered later and said, "I take that back. She has been there for me. Let's just leave it at that." That's what I would have done.
Yeah. But I don't know that I would have said it either. It was kind of sad, but
yeah. But people are upset, honey. They trying to cancel Simone. And in all these memes, you're seeing Simone and Jackie side by side, like, you thought she was the villain. She's the villain. And then I was like, Quad has been so cold with them. They feel like children are off limits. I was like, Quad has kind of shown that anything is on the table. I have seen Quad I still can't get over that girl actually brought a whole man on the show for the sole purpose of saying he slept with Lisa Nicole's husband. That is the coldest thing I've ever seen on reality TV. And I forgot about that. Beat up because you can never come back from that.
Yeah.
Like never. I mean, every time I see him, I wonder, is that dude? Did he mess with that dude? Like for real. That's like cold to me.
We know she'll do it too. She's okay with going low.
It's like scary. You accuse Toya of hiring people to break in her castmate's house. Like Quad is something special. So
she's scary.
Quad can't create these boundaries for herself when she hasn't when she's not willing to stay within and with other people. Eddie Choir was crying hard for it not to be more to it. What you talking about, the house? I don't know. All I know is what they said on TV. What they said, I mean, no, not TV, in blogs, was that, you know, she was a young baby, probably saw that pool, got loose, wasn't nobody watching her. I mean, y'all know how toddlers are. They run like track stars. You go to the bathroom, they done painted your walls. So I can imagine, you know, how easy it is for a toddler to roam outside. That's why in certain states they mandate that you put protections around your pool.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I wonder if they had any, or if they. Well, actually, I don't think it was law there, or we probably would have heard about it.
Yeah,
probably would be trying to give charges on somebody.
I know in Florida it is.
Yeah,
but they also.
Well, that's because of alligators, ain't it?
Yeah, I said keep creatures out too.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's law. Some states it's actually law. In almost all states, you have to keep a gate around your yard when you have a pool. I know in Missouri it's like that, or at least in St. Louis County it is, because my mother and them had a pool, and they had to get their fence fixed when the neighbors put a wooden part, it wasn't wooden, that plastic stuff that they put. Make it look like picket fence, yeah. So they had to get that. They had to. It was something that the city had to require them to. But anyway, I guess that's it again.
That is it. That is it. We will. Heck, I guess Sunday. Wait a minute. So two more episodes of Potomac. I think
it's 3. When I looked on here, there's one March the 10th, the 17th, and then the 27th. Now they haven't been named, so I don't know. Next week has been named as the boiling point.
Ooh,
right. I don't know.
I did see the preview. Did you see the preview?
What was the preview? I kind of did, but I can't remember. It looked
Me
good.
either. I mean, I saw it just a couple hours ago, and I don't even remember it. That's sad. The brains.
Who was it about? I probably have to go into Married to Medicine, because how my DVR worked, they always cut it off. Let me see. Oh, that's what it was.
What?
They all got together. I don't know whose house they're over, but Sharice is there.
That's right. And Sharice got to getting all anxious and yelling and telling somebody shut up, which means it was probably Karen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her and Karen are getting to it. So
it's Karen's not there.
She's not?
And then they go to New York.
Who else is she going off on then?
Karen not at the table.
I have to go and watch that again.
Karen not at the table.
Because going off and crying like that, I can't think of anybody else that she would do that with.
Mia, she was talking to Robin. It's Mia.
Oh, Mia.
What's her name? Candiace, Sharice, Jacqueline, Mia's friend, Anetta.
So I wonder if Mia said something to Sharice about bringing on Jacqueline.
Now there is somebody next to. Is that Wendy? There are other people at this table I can't see, but I don't think Karen is there. I think it's a couple of her friends.
Okay.
Why is Wendy? I don't think Wendy here.
I just got now I kind of think it's going to be about Wendy.
If you believe that Wendy is sitting next to Robin, that's possible.
Oh well. I guess we will see that next week or whenever that comes on, and we will.
There's another arm next to Wendy too, if that is Wendy. I can't tell from the angle. Let me go back and look a couple of more seconds. But yeah, she's arguing with Robin.
Okay. Well, we will follow up and watch that, and we will schedule it. Hopefully Facebook won't go down because child. And so we'll see each other next week. It really was.
Because it was a time he kept saying somebody in Washington was trying to log into my account. Now they said, but because when I first started Googling stuff, nothing was there. I must have, because I was just on Facebook. I had just posted in our inbox, in our group chat. But when something I did within seconds, it just stopped working. And it logged me out. It kept trying to log me. I couldn't get in, couldn't change my password, couldn't do it on my phone. Yeah, at work, you can't do nothing on a computer at work. Boy, them kids can get on porn, but I can't get on Facebook.
Oh my goodness.
They can get on porn, but I can't get on eBay. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I've actually kicked students off of porn online.
What?
Yeah, it's like several times.
Okay, that's a whole different topic.
I had bought tablets. It was so funny. I had bought tablets for my students. Well, Donors Choose did. I love that place. And one of the students was on it. He was doing some research. And when I got my computer, when I got the tablet back and I looked in the search and he was like, X, big booty sauce. I was like, Lord.
How come there's not a firewall? There should be a firewall to stop them from even pulling it out.
They figure out a way. That's what I was saying.
Crazy.
They figure out a way. They have these sites that you go to, and whatever these sites are, bypass a firewall. And then you can put in, they have like a search engine, that particular website, and that search engine, you can pull up anything. That's the reason why they found a way. Now, hopefully they've gotten better now, because I will admit this was quite a few years ago when this happened. Matter of fact, it was so long ago. It was when Kindle had came out with their own, the little Kindles, tablets.
Fire, yeah.
I had gotten from Donors Choose. That was a while ago.
Yeah,
probably about 7 years ago. But that, I was cracking up. I said, yeah, I can't get on eBay, but he can get on porn. Ain't that some mess? Anyway, that's enough, y'all. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.
See
Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.